Hollywood Civil War: California leads bid to blow up Paramount's $110 billion deal. Hollywood's biggest merger is under siege as states fight to stop it. A coalition of U.S. states has launched a major antitrust lawsuit seeking to stop Paramount Skydance's $110 billion takeover of Warner Bros. Discovery, threatening one of the largest and most consequential media mergers in Hollywood history. California Attorney General Rob Bonta is leading the legal challenge alongside 11 other states, arguing that the proposed acquisition would significantly weaken competition across film distribution and cable television. The lawsuit directly challenges Paramount chief executive David Ellison's ambition to combine two of Hollywood's largest studios and create a media group capable of competing more aggressively with Netflix, Disney, and other global entertainment giants. But the states contend that the transaction would not create healthy competition. Instead, they say it would give Paramount excessive control over cinemas, television distributors, entertainment workers, and the content available to American audiences. States launch major antitrust challenge. The legal action alleges that the merger would substantially reduce competition in two central parts of the entertainment industry: the distribution of films to cinemas and the supply of basic cable channels to television providers. According to figures cited by the states, a combined Paramount and Warner Bros. Business would control approximately 27% of the U.S. theatrical film distribution market. Its position would be even stronger among the biggest commercial releases, with the merged company allegedly controlling around 30% of blockbuster film distribution. The states also claim Paramount would hold approximately 27% of the market for basic cable channels following the acquisition. That would place a vast collection of studios, franchises, broadcasters, and streaming assets under one corporate structure. Warner Bros. Discovery owns Warner Bros. Pictures, HBO, CNN, Discovery, and an extensive catalog that includes franchises such as Harry Potter, Superman, and Batman. Paramount's portfolio includes Paramount Pictures, CBS, Nickelodeon, MTV, Showtime, and the Paramount Plus streaming service. Bonta warns against rigged markets. Bonta framed the case as a defense of open competition, rather than an attempt to obstruct corporate growth. With this lawsuit, California and our sister states are fighting for free and fair markets, not rigged markets, he said, adding that America had no kings in government or our economy. The California Attorney General had been scrutinizing the potential Warner Bros. Transaction for months. In February, his office warned that further media consolidation could reduce consumer choice, eliminate well-paid jobs, and weaken creative diversity. Bonta also stressed the entertainment industry's importance to California's economy and promised a full and robust review of any takeover. The newly filed case confirms that California's investigation has escalated into a direct attempt to stop the deal. Cinemas fear fewer films. Cinema operators have emerged as some of the merger's most vocal opponents. Their concern is that combining Warner Bros. Pictures and Paramount Pictures would leave cinemas increasingly dependent on a smaller number of powerful distributors. A merged studio could theoretically gain greater leverage when negotiating ticket revenue splits, release schedules, and access to blockbuster films. Theater owners also fear that reducing the number of competing studios could ultimately mean fewer films reaching cinemas. Actors, writers, and other industry workers have raised separate concerns about possible redundancies, shrinking production budgets, and fewer opportunities for independent creators. These fears have been intensified by Paramount's plan to extract approximately $6 billion in savings after completing the transaction. The company says those savings would come from removing duplicated infrastructure, marketing operations, and corporate positions. Critics argue that savings on that scale would almost inevitably involve extensive job losses and reduce spending across parts of the combined business. Paramount says merger would strengthen Hollywood. Paramount rejects the suggestion that its takeover would lead to fewer productions. Ellison has promised that the combined film studios would release approximately 30 movies every year. The company argues that greater scale would allow it to invest more effectively in films, television programs, and streaming content. Its central defense is that traditional Hollywood studios are no longer competing only against one another. They are also competing against technology-backed streaming platforms with enormous global audiences, data operations, and content budgets. Paramount therefore presents the Warner Bros. Deal as a necessary response to the growing strength of Netflix, Amazon, Apple, and Disney. The company argues that combining Paramount Plus, HBO Max, and its wider entertainment catalog could create a stronger alternative for consumers rather than weaken competition. Justice Department cleared the deal. The lawsuit creates an extraordinary split between federal and state antitrust authorities. The U.S. Department of Justice previously cleared the takeover after concluding that the merger was unlikely to damage competition in streaming, linear television, or theatrical film production and distribution. The states have now reached the opposite conclusion. Their case demonstrates that federal approval does not guarantee that a major transaction will proceed. State attorneys general can independently challenge mergers under federal and state competition laws. The dispute could also become politically charged. David Ellison's father, Oracle co-founder Larry Ellison, has developed close links with President Donald Trump, while Paramount has employed several former Trump administration officials. However, the lawsuit will ultimately depend on economic evidence and whether the states can prove that the merger is likely to substantially lessen competition. Delay could cost Paramount hundreds of millions. Even without an immediate final ruling, the lawsuit may create severe financial pressure. A complex antitrust trial could take months, particularly if the states secure an order preventing the companies from completing the transaction while proceedings continue. Paramount has agreed to pay Warner Bros. Discovery shareholders a fee worth approximately $650 million for every quarter in which the deal remains incomplete after October. The company has warned that prolonged delays could force it to renegotiate its financing, destabilize its share price, or cause the entire acquisition to collapse. The combined business is already expected to carry approximately $80 billion in debt after completion, increasing the importance of quickly achieving Paramount's proposed savings. The transaction also remains subject to international scrutiny. Paramount previously said it would not complete the deal before the 22nd of July, while European regulators assessed proposed competition remedies, including the possible termination of a film distribution partnership with Universal Pictures. Hollywood's future now heads to court. The lawsuit represents one of the most important antitrust battles facing the modern entertainment industry. For Paramount, the takeover offers scale, franchises, and the streaming reach needed to challenge the sector's dominant platforms. For California and its partner states, the deal risks placing too much influence over films, television channels, employment, and distribution in the hands of one company. The central question is now whether a larger Paramount would become a stronger competitor to Netflix and Disney, or whether the elimination of Warner Bros. As an independent rival would leave cinemas, workers, and consumers with fewer meaningful choices. That decision may no longer be made in a corporate boardroom. It is heading to court. IR states are attempting to stop Paramount's $110 billion Warner Bros. Takeover, warning that the Hollywood mega-merger could reduce competition, threaten jobs, and give one company enormous control over films and cable television.